All right, what it do, you guys? What it do? Thank you for tuning in. Check this out. Hit the heart button on Facebook. Copy it. Paste it on your walls. Paste it on friends' walls. Paste it on groups. YouTube. Copy the link and paste it in text messages. Paste it wherever. Paste it on the wall, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Share it out. So recently, Circle Back Girl, yes, Jen Psaki had a press briefing at the White House, of course, and she got grilled. She got grilled by questions, and she sat there and she lied. But I know what's new. But you guys got to check this out, because you guys have heard all the stuff that's happening regarding immigrants and children coming in, and the rumors, whether they're truth, whether they're lies. You've heard the rumors about people being flown and people being bussed around throughout the United States. Well, there's some more intel with that, and Psaki is trying to cover it up. The Biden administration don't want us, the people, to know the truth. But again, like I said, what's new? That just seems to be the reoccurring common theme in regards to this administration. So let's listen to what Psaki has to say to some questions from some maybe conservative reporters.
Why is the administration flying thousands of migrants from the border to Florida and New York in the middle of the night?
Well, I'm not sure that it's in the middle of the night, but let me tell you what's happening here. It is our
4:29 a.m.
Well,
very early in the morning.
Here we are talking about early flights, earlier than you might like to take a flight.
They arrive in the dead of night, as you said, and the curfew at that White Plains airport is midnight, and these planes are flying in way after curfew. We just observed two flights from Westchester and one from into Westchester and one that left Jacksonville that came to White Plains last week. And of those, we saw about 100 migrants come off each plane, and we followed a couple of buses that went, one to Long Island to drop some of these migrants off at about 1 a.m. at a sort of a group home, a former orphanage. Now they have a contract there, Mercy First, with the federal government to house migrant youth. It's all been done secretly, and if the federal government was not trying to hide what they were doing, they would show us who was on the plane, and they would tell us where they were taking them, and they wouldn't be doing these flights in the dead of night.
It is our legal responsibility to safely care for unaccompanied children until they can be swiftly unified with a parent or a vetted sponsor. And that's something we take seriously. We have a right obligation to do that and to deliver on that. As a part of the unification process, our Office of Refugee Resettlement facilitates travel for children in its custody to their families or sponsors across the country. So in recent weeks, unaccompanied children passed through the Westchester Airport, which I think is what you're referring to, en route to their final destination to be unified with their parents or vetted sponsor. It's no surprise that kids can be seen traveling through states, not just New York. It's something that we're also working to unite children with their family members or vetted sponsors in other parts of the country as well.
So let's unwrap this. They're crossing the border, which technically is illegal. National Guards at the border, which I showed you guys. They get escorted to Border Patrol. Border Patrol puts them on buses. Where are these buses going? Facilities, possibly airports. In the middle of the night, they're being flown from airports to certain destinations and places. Psaki says, well, it's our responsibility that these people, these children, end up with parents or what, like caregivers? Well, how do we know there's caregivers? How do you sign up to become a caregiver for an immigrant? They're illegal. How does that paperwork happen? So she's saying that they're being now took back to their family members or people who are going to attend to them and care for them and take care of them. Then we come back. Another lady says it's being done in the middle of the night. Originally, Psaki says, no, it's not done in the middle of the night. The man says, Peter, he says he gave like two different times, like 4:29 and something like around 1 o'clock in the morning. That's kind of like the middle of the night. depending on when you go to sleep or depending if you sleep all night long. Bottom line is still, it's after normal operational business hours. We can at least say that. So they're saying, no, it's not done in the middle of the night. No, then they're saying, the other lady says it's done secretly. Psaki says, well, it's our obligation, our responsibility to get these children back to their family members. Well, are their family members are already here in the United States? Oh, yes, they are, because you're letting everyone in. And they know that, which is why they're coming to America. This is why they're coming, because they already know that they can come here and get a free pass, and our borders are completely wide open. So if our borders are open, then why do we even have bridges and checkpoints? Forget the checkpoints, forget the passports, because we know that we can come into the southern border for free without no problem. All we got to do is just get a little bit of water on us, cross through the river on a raft or knee high, and we're in America. We're in the land of the free. We're in the home of the brave, land of the free, all that good stuff where there's a constitution and anything goes. Well, almost anything, unless you're a conservative, and then they might censor us like they do myself and Bryson Gray and other people. But if you're not a conservative and you're listening to this, well, then you definitely are free. So let's listen to more of the truth. I'm not talking about Psaki. I'm talking about somebody else. Let's listen to more of the truth of what this person has to say about where the children are going.
Where are the parents of these children, these minors that are being transported up to New York and then put on buses thereafter? Do we even know where they're going? Have any local officials been made aware? I mean, that's a very serious issue. We don't even know about the safety or well-being of these kids. And this is supposed to be in the name of some kind of fake compassion from this administration about the plight of these people that are trying to seek entry into the United States.
They have to disperse them quietly around the country into communities that don't know what's going on. And we've seen we watched one bus take or two buses actually from one flight, take a bunch of these migrants on Wednesday night and drop them off at a rest area off the New Jersey Turnpike. Now, if they were children, this was really failure of the duty of care of HHS, because they didn't check the identification of any of the people that came up in cars to pick these people up. How do we know who they are?
Oh, wow.
And we know Tom Homan, who was, border security under Donald Trump, said that they spent an inordinate amount of time vetting the people that would come and pick up unaccompanied minors. But that's been shortchanged with this government, and they're not talking.
And they're not talking, and they're not telling the truth. So they're being flown in the middle of the night. The Biden administration wants to debunk that. Anyway, they're being flown at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. All right, to different airports, being dropped off. Psaki and the Biden administration says, well, we have to get them back to their parents or somebody who's going to take care of them. So I guess their parents are already here in the United States someplace, so they have to get them back. So is there like some sort of like camp or village going on? Anyway, then there's buses dropping them off at rest stops. How is this all being coordinated? Please tell us what's really going on. How's it all being coordinated? Because there's some sort of communication going on. Being dropped off at a rest area, and then on top of that, people are showing up in cars to pick them up. None of us American people know anything. This is like a top secret mission, it seems like. Why shouldn't we know what's going on? You have airplanes, you have border crossing, you have National Guard, you have Border Patrol, you have, like I said, airplanes, then you have cars, you have facilities, you have buses, and we can't know the truth about what's really happening. What's going on with illegal immigrants who are crossing the border into our country? Because you guys were all complaining about cages, and now what's happening? Are people just being kind of spread throughout the United States into communities? Like the lady said, what communities are they going into? Shouldn't we know? If we live in a particular neighborhood or a community, should we not know like how we used to know? It used to be Neighborhood Watch. Maybe that needs to come back. Maybe the doggy, what was his name? I forget his name, but maybe we need Neighborhood Watch again so we can pay attention to who's coming into our neighborhood / community. Because we know that the left does it. We know that the left is constantly watching who comes into their community. That's one of the left's favorite words is community. With the community, the LGBTQ community, this community, that community. We don't want you racist, conservatives, white people, bigots here in our community. That's their favorite words. So where are the immigrants, illegal immigrants going to? What community are they going to? We, the people, deserve and want to know. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check out Rumble, The BC Preacher, Twitter, The BC Preacher, Instagram, The BC Preacher, of course, the YouTube channels, The BC Preacher, which is the backup page for the Black Conservative Preacher on YouTube, Facebook, The BC Preacher. Also, don't forget to check out the website, onamericanstreets.com. If you'd like to donate, you can always /donate, and then mypillow.com. Save up to 66% off merchandise if you use code BCP. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch y'all next time. God bless you guys.